Someone's like, this is phenomenal. It doesn't just smell like vanilla. It smells like vanilla that went to therapy. Hi guys, it's Ksenia. Welcome back to my channel. So as you can see by the title, today we're going to talk about some perfumes that will break their necks, but not your bank account. Also bear with me throughout this video. I don't know what happened, but I woke up today with like this scratchy, itchy throat and I keep coughing. I think I'm getting sick, so I'm sorry if my voice sounds a little weird in this video. I feel like I can hear it and I feel it, so hopefully it's not translating too bad in the video. But let's get into this video because I have some incredible perfumes in here that don't cost an arm and a kidney. I think we're all flabbergasted with the prices of perfumes that are coming out nowadays. Every time a new perfume comes out, they just keep increasing and increasing and it's ridiculous. So I wanted to do a good old affordable perfume video. All the perfumes in this video retail at under $50. Some of these you can literally get for like $20, and then others are like a little bit higher up in the 40s, close to 50s. So if you want to smell good and bougie on a budget, if you want all the compliments but without having to break the bank account, then just keep watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already and turn post notifications on, and let's get started. Okay, before I actually get into the video, I just realized I lied. One of these perfumes is a little bit more than 50. It's 75, so I'm sorry, but I had to include that in this video because at least it's not $200 like most perfumes, and it's really good, so I really wanted to include it. But I think I'm gonna just put that towards the end as like an honorable mention if you have a little bit more to spend. So I'm sorry about that one, but I had to include it because it's way too good, and for the price point it just exceeds all expectations. So just stay tuned till the end to see what that is. But yeah, now let's get started. I'm gonna start off with a perfume that I have not been able to put down ever since I bought it. I blind bought this perfume at Burlington. I think it was $30. The packaging really caught my attention, and then I looked it up on Fragrantica while I was in there, saw the notes, and I was sold. It is such an insane perfume, and this perfume gets so many compliments. I don't know what it is in here. It's just so feminine and ethereal. It has this whimsical vibe. This perfume comes from good old Lattafa. This is an Air perfume. By the way, none of the perfumes in this video are sponsored. This is called Noble Blush. I love the pink packaging, and it is so heavy. This has some weight to it. There's so much detail. What else do we expect from Lattafa? Their perfumes are incredible. This one specifically has to be probably out. Oh my god, it smells so good. I think this is one of the best Lattafas, if not the best Lattafa perfumes that I have smelled. Yeah, obviously I haven't smelled all of them. There's probably more that smell incredible, but from what I've tried, this is the best. This has pretty interesting and more unique notes, I would say. So we have top notes of rose milk, middle notes of meringue and almond, and base notes of vanilla, musk, and sandalwood. This perfume is very creamy, lactonic, but in a very floral way, which I wouldn't think to put the two together, but somehow they are done so beautifully in here. To me, this is very sweet, but it's also very rosy and not that synthetic, mature, weird kind of rose scent. It's just very creamy rose, and it's so feminine, just pink smelling. I mean, literally rose milk. That's the best way to describe that. If you're a rose hater, you need to try this. I think this will be the first rose perfume that you love because it is just so beautiful, and I've never smelled anything like this perfume. I have absolutely nothing to compare this to, and I've smelled hundreds upon hundreds of perfumes. I don't know what to compare this to because there's really nothing like it on the market. This is also beast mode. The closest thing that I could kind of maybe compare it to is think of the Dove Pink bar soap, but in a much stronger perfumey kind of way. It does give me a soapy vibe in a very sweet way. If you're looking for a Lattafa perfume to add to your cart, add this one. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. Next up, this is also very sophisticated and bougie smelling, but again, coming at a very affordable price point. Now, this is a designer perfume, so I'm sure when this first came out, it wasn't under $50, but it is now because it's been out for a very long time. I've used this and been around this perfume since I was a kid. My cousins used to always use this, so then I started using it, and so I've always kind of smelled this throughout my whole lifetime, and that is Burberry Brit. Now, this specific one is the Eau de Toilette, so keep that in mind. There's an EDP. I have tried the EDP as well. Honestly, after smelling this one, they smell identical to me. I'm not really sure what the difference between the two is because yeah, they smell exactly the same, and even this EDT is super strong and lasts forever, so not sure if there is a difference, to be honest, but this is the one I'm talking about today. And this perfume is all about this almondy, a little bit nutty, creamy kind of scent. pretty sweet, but also you have this lime thrown in there. So the main components of this perfume are that lime and almond. Also, I almost forgot, it does have pear in it, which I think pairs up with the lime really well because it creates this juicy, sweet, but tangy kind of mixture, which then pairs up really well with that creamy almond scent. There's a whole ton of sugar in here, so it is pretty sweet for the most part, but it's a very complex perfume. It has a little bit of everything. You get a little bit of floral, sweet, a little bit zesty, woody. It smells like old money, but I mean all Burberry perfumes do. An honorable mention, which I didn't include in this video because I feel like I talk about it too much, so I was like, let me put that down and talk about this one. But Burberry London is also incredible. Also grew up with that perfume. That one is a little bit more sophisticated, whereas I feel like this one's a little bit more flirty and fun and not as serious, but that's a great option as well if you want something a little bit classy. My third recommendation, I owe this perfume all to Jeremy Fragrance. Honestly, he is the reason why I started my channel. I started watching his channel around 3 or 4 years ago when I first started mine, and back then I had no intention of doing perfume videos. I was actually doing makeup videos, but I started watching his videos and I got super into perfumes, and that is how the birth of my channel happened. So I feel like I can thank Jeremy Fragrance for this YouTube channel, but also for bringing this perfume into my life. I think a lot of people were influenced by him to buy this perfume. He just talked so highly of this perfume. He'd literally go on and on and on about how this is just the sexiest feminine fragrance of all time, and so I had to buy it, and I think a lot of people did too because of him, and I still love it to this day. I still have it, have never decluttered it, don't think I ever will declutter it because it is such a good classic scent. I've always loved the original Viva La Juicy, and this one, I'm not gonna lie, there's not too much of a difference. So if you have the original, you probably don't need a bunch of different versions because they all kind of smell the same. But I don't currently have the original in my collection, and honestly I kind of prefer this one because it does have all the components of the original, but they've added caramel in here, and that just makes it 10 times more delicious and sweet. So you got berries in here. It's a little bit floral in the opening, typical Viva La Juicy vibe, but then in the base you get caramel and praline. So there's a heavy dose of ooey gooey sweet sugariness in here that's happening. Doesn't make it gourmand because it's a very perfumey perfume. It doesn't smell like food, but it's very, very sweet and honestly intoxicating. Who doesn't love the scent of caramel, especially when you think about it mixed with the original Viva La Juicy DNA, which I've always loved and still love to this day. So I absolutely love this. Such a highly complimented scent. My husband, obsessed. He's obsessed. Every time I put this on, he's obsessed. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, next perfume. I will give a little disclaimer about this one because if you buy this on the Ulta website, the full size, which is the 100 ml that I have right here, does retail for a little bit more than $50, but you can actually find the full size of this on fragrancenet.com and it retails for only $56. So still a little bit more than 50, but around the price point that we want. And also you can find this on secondhand websites, which I always recommend you do for literally any perfume because you could get insane prices. And just because it's secondhand doesn't mean that these perfumes are like halfway done. I've bought completely new, unopened, unused perfumes for less than half of the price that they retail for in actual stores. So definitely keep that in mind. But this is Mod Vanilla by Ariana Grande, and I'm obsessed with this perfume. This is one of the most incredible vanillas with a twist. It's not a basic vanilla. There's a plummy, sexy, sweet aspect that just mixes so well with the vanilla. This is very reminiscent of Cheirosa 40 from Sol de Janeiro, which I actually recently decluttered mine because I had this. I was just kind of trying to downsize on doubles in my collection because I realized that sometimes I get really attached to a scent and I want to buy like 50 of the same scent, but that's just my over-consumerist mentality because it takes me forever to go through any one perfume. So I really don't need to be doing the doubles or triples. I don't need to be doing all of that. That's too much. So I decided to keep this because this is my favorite of this sort of scent. This has plum, it has praline, it has vanilla, it even has cacao butter. This is absolutely addicting. It's not a gourmand vanilla. It's more of a musky, plummy, sexy vanilla, very complex. I'm reading one of the reviews on Fragrantica and I'm obsessed with this description. Someone's like, this is phenomenal. It doesn't just smell like vanilla. It smells like vanilla that went to therapy, paid off its debt, and came back radiant. That's the perfect explanation. I know that doesn't really tell you much about the perfume, but that's all you need to know. If you love vanilla and you don't have Mod Vanilla, you need it. Next, this is a new perfume in my collection, but this has completely blown me away. It has given me so many compliments. My mom has complimented me on this perfume, and she doesn't usually do that because her and I have very different tastes in perfumes. I'm way more into the sweets, she's way more into the freshies. And this perfume I feel like is a nice combo of the two, so I think maybe that's why she really loved it. But every time I wear this, she compliments me on it. I was walking around Target and I had a random person stop me and ask me what I was wearing with this perfume. So she's just a little diamond. Literally, no pun intended, because it's called Diamonds. This is by Emporio Armani. Now, I think there's a ton of flankers in this line. I'm not sure if this is the original or one of the flankers. I don't know. I bought this on my layover as I was coming back to the US in the Turkey airport, so kind of random, but thank God I found it there. They had a tester out for it. Fell in love with the dry down and I bought it, and it was like $30, so very inexpensive. On first glance, you see this, it's all clear, you think, okay, it's gonna be a fresh scent, but it is so much more than that. It's actually very sweet, which you would not maybe think of when you look at this bottle. But do not judge a fragrance by its bottle, let me tell you, because this is a little hidden gem right here. This has top notes of lychee and raspberry, so it opens up very berry fruit, but very fresh in the opening. Keep that in mind. Now in the middle notes, you have rose, freesia, patchouli, cedar, lily of the valley. It has this pink, warm floral, but also white floral vibe, which I actually really love, and I'm not really usually a very white floral kind of fan. And then the base, you get vanilla, amber, and vetiver, so it kind of richens, deepens. It's not a fresh, fleeting fragrance. There's a lot of depth. I also don't love lychee sometimes because it can tend to come off a little bitter on the skin. There's nothing bitter about this one. It's just a beautiful, soft, pink, warm floral fragrance with a whole ton of berry fruitiness, but done in this powdery, musky kind of way. It's so ethereal, perfect wedding day scent. It is such an incredible perfume, so underrated. And by underrated, I mean like literally nobody talks about this. I don't think I've ever heard anybody talk about this. So when I saw it there, I kind of didn't really have high hopes for this because I saw the bottle and I'm like, okay, it's gonna just be fresh. But I was just smelling all the perfumes that they had there, and this one just knocked my socks off, so I had to immediately buy it. Then for a little bit more of a sexy, nighttime, seductive kind of option, Diesel Loverdose, specifically Red Kiss. This scent, not only is the bottle absolutely beautiful, looks like a little love potion, the fragrance is so good. This is black opium done right. Not that I don't love black opium, because I do still love me black opium. As much as that perfume gets hate for how boring it is, I still love it. I don't use it all the time, but I do like the scent. Now this I think is a trillion times better. It is that same sweet, sexy club, seductive kind of fragrance, but there's no coffee in here. Instead of the coffee, you have hazelnut and cacao pod in here, so there's a bit of this chocolatey sort of element. It has black currants, so there's this deep berry kind of vibe. There's sugar, very sweet scent overall. In the base, you have patchouli and amber, which you can very much smell, but in a very tasteful way, not overpowering, works well with the other notes. This is just such a seductive, delicious perfume. So sexy, definitely something you'd wear if you're having a night out, on a date night, that type of thing, because it's absolutely irresistible and it is so cheap. And also, again, no one talks about this. It's sweet, fruity, sexy, unique, but also a little bit sophisticated. It's all about this jammy, fruity, berry kind of vibe, but mixed with this chocolatey amber. Absolutely amazing. And now to end it off with my little honorable mention, that's a little bit over the $50 price point that I put on this video, but I think this is so worth it if you're willing to spend just a little bit more. This retails for $75, and that is the new Rare Beauty fragrance. I did a whole dedicated review to this perfume, so I'm going to link it up here if you want just a lot more in-depth info on this scent. But all I'm going to tell you in this video is, if you want an alternative, or even I would say a dupe, to Burberry Goddess, which is well over $150, then definitely check this one out. And also, even if you didn't love Burberry Goddess for whatever reason, I know a lot of people didn't like the lavender aspect in Burberry Goddess, then I think you would love this, because there is no lavender in this one. Instead, this is just more caramelly, way sweeter. Still has a little bit of that spice element, but not from lavender. It's more so coming from this pink pepper note. And then there's also ginger, there's pistachio in here, there's cacao, there's vanilla, there's caramel. It's so delicious, and I had to include it in this video even though it's a little bit over the price point, because this is well worth every single penny that this costs. And I think especially for the price point, it is a really decent price point from this, especially because Rare Beauty is at Sephora, and I don't think that there's any other perfume at Sephora that is cheaper than this, other than like the other celebrity perfumes like the Ariana Grande perfumes, but this feels a lot more elevated than those, and so in my personal opinion, this is worth it. I would call this a more refined version of Burberry Goddess. It's a little bit softer, but still so sweet and delicious on the skin. All the perfumes that I have for you in this video, these are all scents that I think will do incredible. They will get you compliments if you're looking for that, and if not, you will enjoy them, because obviously we're not always looking for compliments. But let's not lie to ourselves, we all love a good compliment, especially on how we smell, and with any one of these, that is guaranteed. If you checked any of these perfumes out, let me know in the comments what you think of them. That is it for this video. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and if you have any more recommendations for affordable perfumes that don't break the bank but will break their necks, leave them in the comments down below. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and turn your post notifications on, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!